Okay, so we are still in this series, What the Pastor Said. And on Sunday, we talked about catch and release. Now, the church as a whole is still in this series of increase. And I'm assuming it is the new year. We want everyone to increase. And so, in order to do that, they are teaching us the church is teaching us on how to do it from a kingdom perspective, from a kingdom mindset. So we're still in the series of increase, and on yesterday's sermon, it was entitled Catch and Release. Now, the main point I thought from the message or from the sermon was to understand that the key to increase is to release. That's the whole point, right? So essentially, he's saying that the life that you want is on the other side of discomfort that you don't want to endure. So think about what Jesus said in Matthew 16:24. Whoever wants to be my disciple must deny themselves, take up their cross, and follow me. If you want to save your life, you lose it. But if you lose your life for me, then you'll find it. And so basically, you have to be willing to release everything. Because if you can't let go of what matters most to you, then you'll never value what matters most to him. And then, of course, he gave us 3 points. But let me read where the passage, the scripture is coming from. So Exodus 2:1-4, that's where it started. Now a man from the house of Levi went and took as his wife a Levite woman. The woman conceived and bore a son, and when she saw that he was a fine child, she hid him for 3 months. When she could not hide him any longer, she took him, she made him a basket. So this is a story of Moses. Let me just say it like that. So this is a story of Moses, and it talks about from the birth all the way up until he leads the Israelites out of Egypt. And so it started out with his mom understanding. So there is some backstory to it. At this time, the Hebrew children were being killed, the Hebrew boys. And so just go and read that for yourself. That's a lot of backstory to it. But where we are now is Moses is born. His mom is able to hide him for 3 months. And so when she's no longer able to hide him, she makes him a basket. She makes him a basket so that she can release him. And so you already know that it's God working, because the way that she released him, when he was found, the mom ended up getting the son back and being able to feed him and be paid to feed him. So it was just go and read that. That's a story, and it tells you how the Lord is working, right? He's sovereign, his providence. Just go and read that, okay? But yeah, so that is the first point that he made in terms of the release part. So the mom realized that she could no longer hold him. She could no longer keep him. And so she chose to release him. So releasing is a choice. It's not something that, it's intentional. That's the word. Releasing is intentional, okay? We hold on to things because we think that, we love it. We want it. We want to keep it. And we think that it is best and we shouldn't let it go. But if God is telling us to release something, if God is telling us to let something go, then the reason he's telling us to let it go is because he has something better for us. That is just what I'm choosing to believe. Think about God. Last time I talked about how anything that he has for us, anything that he does is going to be good because he's all good. So it's just if he's telling you to release something, it's a reason why he's telling you to release it. It's going to be better, whatever it is that he has next for you, right? So Pastor Jared gave us 3 points. So here are the 3 points, 3 takeaways. You're going to catch the vision God has for you by delighting yourself in the Lord and then aligning with his vision and his goals. That's number 1. That is how you catch the vision. That's the first thing you want to do. To have a kingdom-minded catch and release, first you want to catch the vision. In order to catch the vision, you have to delight yourself in the Lord and then align with his vision and his goals. Okay, that's the first thing. Then second, you want to start with what he put on your heart. So think about Moses' story. So with Moses' story, up front, how he even got to, he fled. So remember when So remember, he was born. His mom tried to hide him. She hid him for 3 months. When she could no longer hide him, then she released him. He ended up coming back to her. She was able to feed him, care for him, and be paid to do so. Then he grows up privileged. Let me say that. He grows up privileged, and he sees an Israelite being beat. Yes, he sees one of his people being beat, a Hebrew being beat, and so he defends him. But the way that he defends him, he kills the man, and then it sends him running off. Now, the second point was to start with what he put on your heart. When Moses saw that one of his people were being beaten, it was placed on his heart. He already had it in his heart that this is wrong. I need to do something about this. I need to protect this person. I need to stop that. Methods probably could have been a little bit different. Or probably should have been a little bit different. But it was already placed on his heart, right? So boom, there is the second point. When you align with God's vision, your heart will align with his goals. Remember that. Oh, a cool little point. I'm going to say cool. But I like the point that he made. It was just kind of like a side note. He said, God allows you to walk to a dead end to show you the way back. God allows you to walk to a dead end to show you the way back. You'll catch that when you get home. Okay, and then the last point is to find out what you need to release or let go. Now, with this point right here, it was some follow-up scriptures to it. So find out what you need to release or let go. What you release will determine the level of your increase. So if you check out Luke 6:38, give and it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, will be put into your lap. For with the measure, this is the part that you need to remember right here. What you release will determine the level of your increase. For with the measure you use, it will be measured back to you. You got that? Okay. That's Luke 6:38. And then the last little point, what you let go of will determine the level of your freedom. The more we let go of who we want to be and release what we have to give, the more he will increase us. That's what the pastor said. I hope you remember that God is the anchor. Jesus is the cornerstone. And so in order to increase, we must release. So the things that we're trying to hold on to, let them go. Let them go and let God do what he's going to do. Leave margin for God to do the rest. Oh, and remember, the life you want is on the other side of the discomfort that you are unwilling to endure, or the discomfort that you don't want to endure. I hope this adds value. Bye for now.